Beneath the wealth, the price of greed. In the heart of Abuja, beneath the gloss of a successful public servant's life, a dark secret festered, a secret that would shatter a family and transform them in ways they could never have imagined. Ezekwe was a man of contradictions. To the outside world, he was the esteemed director of procurement, a man of influence with a prestigious degree in public administration. He walked the polished halls of government buildings, adorned in tailored suits, his demeanor reflecting confidence and power. But within the walls of his own home, he was a different man altogether. Evelyn, his devoted wife, often bore the brunt of his frugality.
Ezekwe, we need to buy groceries for the boys.
She pleaded one evening, her voice tinged with desperation as she sorted through their meager pantry. Ezekwe, seated in his favorite armchair, glanced up, his brow furrowed.
We can make do with what we have. The boys need to learn the value of money.
But they can't learn on empty stomachs.
She shot back, exasperated.
How are we going to pay for their school fees this term?
Ezekwe waved his hand dismissively.
I'll figure something out. There's no need to borrow money.
His words were a promise and a curse, and as the days turned into weeks, Evelyn found herself relying more on friends and neighbors to help fill the gaps. The house was often quiet, the boys' laughter muted by the weight of unspoken hunger and need. Years passed, and as Ezekwe approached retirement, he was unexpectedly promoted to the role of Director of Procurement. It was a position he had long coveted, a pinnacle he thought would alleviate the family's struggles. With his newfound authority, he began to incorporate companies that could bid on government contracts, a move that would change everything.
Look at this, Evelyn.
He exclaimed one evening, tossing a contract onto the table.
I'm going to award the project to my own company.
She looked up, astonished.
What about the ethics of this? What about transparency?
He shrugged.
That's for the government to figure out. I'm just making sure my family is taken care of.
Little did she know that this would become the beginning of their family's transformation. Yet Ezekwe remained as tight-fisted as ever. Despite his wealth, he continued to withhold funds from Evelyn, forcing her to beg friends for help. He built a 3-bedroom duplex in one of the city's most desirable neighborhoods, yet he warned his family never to visit. That's just a guest house, he insisted, his tone brokering no argument. As the years rolled on, Ezekwe's secret life thrived. Within the new house lay a hidden room, accessible only through a disguised door in the master bedroom's wardrobe. Here, he stashed away wads of cash in various currencies, a king hoarding his treasure while his kingdom starved.
Do you ever wonder why your father doesn't help us?
One of the sons, Chijioke, asked his brothers one night as they huddled in the dim light of their cramped living room. He's just strict, the youngest Uche replied, a hint of innocence lacing his words. He says we should learn responsibility. But even the boys began to see through the facade. As Ezekwe's health began to falter, they watched helplessly as he refused to seek treatment, insisting that he had no money. The irony gnawed at them, this man who had everything, yet chose to let his family suffer. The day Ezekwe collapsed in their living room was etched into Evelyn's memory. The air was thick with tension as she and the boys rushed him to the hospital, but Ezekwe stubbornly waved them away, refusing treatment.
Don't waste your money.
He barked, his face pale and drawn.
I'll be fine.
Weeks later, he succumbed to his illness, leaving behind a devastated family who had borrowed money for his burial. Evelyn felt a mix of anger and sorrow. How could he leave us like this? She whispered to herself, her heart heavy with grief. As they stood around his grave, the reality of their situation hit them hard. We'll be back to begging. What are we going to do? In the days following the burial, the 3 brothers sat in their old house, the atmosphere thick with despair. We need to do something, glancing at the new house. What if we sell it?
No. Horrified. We can't part with it. It's the only thing he left us.
After much deliberation, they decided to move into the new house and sell their old one. Maybe we'll find something useful, Chijioke reasoned, his eyes glimmering with a hint of hope. Thank you for watching. Press the notification bell for more videos, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode to uncover what awaits the family as they settle into their new home. The move was just the beginning. Something far more ominous lies ahead.